What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, and aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stages of your life. Family, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, we have to understand that what you take for granted, you often lose. You know what I mean? That which you take for granted, you will lose. It is what it is, you know what I mean? And that's the thing about life, you know what I mean? And the trip is these people took you for granted because they thought you was old faithful. These people took you for granted because they didn't think you would ever leave. These people took you for granted because they didn't think you had anything better. You know what I mean? They didn't think life was going to get any better for you. This was the best for you. You know what I mean? You weren't going nowhere. You weren't doing nothing. You know what I mean? You was going to just keep dealing with their bullshit. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? Life has a way of humbling people. Life has a way of getting you to that place of, okay, you don't want to appreciate the gift that I'm giving you. You can't see the gift that I'm giving you. You don't value what I have for you. Okay, I'm going to allow that to leave. You don't want to take your health for granted, or you want to take your health for granted? Cool. I'm going to get you to a place where you get sick and broken and you can't work out and you can't maneuver and you can't do whoop, do whoop, do whoop, and you'll start appreciating your health. Oh, you don't want to take this relationship for what it is? Bet. I'm going to send you through a period of time of pure isolation. I'm going to put you in a place where you're lonely as hell. You're starving for touch. You're starving for companionship. You're starving for some attention. I'm going to put you in a place where I'm going to break your little ass down. You think you all that? You think you can't be touched? You think you look good? You think you fine as fuck? You think everybody wants you? Okay. Bad. You got to grow up. You don't want to appreciate the gift I'm giving you. Therefore, I'm going to take it from you. See, that person right there you didn't think was anybody, that person right there that you dogged out, that person right there that you mistreated, that person right there that you invalidated, you minimized, you didn't think they brought anything to the table. You thought they were lucky to be with you, when the truth was, it was the other way around. They were a blessing to you, and you couldn't see it. That's mine. That one right there, that little nappy-headed one, that little bald-headed one that you sitting there talking all that crap about. And that was my gift to you. But you couldn't see them as a gift once you got them. Once I gave them to you, you start puffing up your chest, thinking you was all that. You thought you was the prize. Okay. Now I'm going to humble you. Now I'm going to sit you down and nobody's going to want you. Now I'm going to sit you down and your phone is going to be dry as fuck. Now I'm going to sit you down and nobody's going to be interested in you. Now I'm going to sit and nobody's going to want to have sex with you. Now I'm going to sit you down and nobody's going to even want to talk to you. You're going to sit there. And it's going to be as though you got a plague on you. It's as though you're a walking zombie. People are going to see you, but they're not going to want to fuck with you. People are going to see you, but they're not even going to want to talk to you. It's like you got the plague on you. Because I need you to understand something. I gave you a real one. I sent you one of my little angels. And you dogged them out. I sent you one of my chosen ones. And you mishandled them. You fumbled the bag. Because you got puffed up in your ego. You got all beside yourself because of how they made you feel. And chosen ones, here's the trick. It's almost as though we're a two-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's as though, man, we're a blessing to these people. But it turns out when they're not mature enough to handle the blessing, our love becomes a curse to them. What am I saying? They can't handle our love. They can't handle our compassion. They're not used to anything real and authentic like this. And so when they get it, they're excited and it fucks them up. When they get it, it becomes kryptonite to them. Because they're not emotionally mature enough. They're not spiritually mature enough of how to handle you, of how to process being with you, of how to humble themselves. And man, let me stay connected to this. You know what I mean? Let me stay connected. What do I got to do to keep this? That's not their mentality. Their mentality is like, it must be me, all this other stupid ass shit. And so they get all beside themselves. They start feeling themselves. They start thinking highly of themselves, far more highly than they should. And the trip is, our love makes people feel like that. Our love makes people feel good about themselves. Just being in our presence makes them feel good about themselves. Until the light really starts penetrating their soul. And then they can't handle it. They love being in our presence until they can't handle it anymore. They love being in our presence because it makes them feel good, makes them feel valued, makes them feel seen, makes them feel important, makes them feel like they're somebody. But the more they stay in your presence, the more intimidated they become. The more vulnerable they become. The more afraid they become. The more insecure they become. Because they're not ready to deal with it. And your light shows them who they really are. And they don't want you to see who they really are. Because they don't even want to see who they really are. And so they'll walk away. They'll throw you away. They'll cause anything to happen for this to end. They'll try to dim your light. They'll do whatever they can to take the spotlight off of them. And the truth is, the spotlight wasn't even on them. It was just you shining your light. Just you being you. What attracted them to you now intimidates them. What attracted them to you now scares the fuck out of them. And they can't handle it because they won't do the work. In their mind, they don't think they should have to do the work. In their mind, they're good. They've always been good. It's been everybody else that's been fucked up. But now they're in the presence of a real one. And they realize that they're the fucked up one. And they can't handle it. They don't want to look in the mirror and see them. And so they'll throw you away. They'll walk away. Because the light's too bright for them. It's too big for them. And so they'll cower down and go look for somebody a little more mediocre. They'll go look for somebody that's more plain. Somebody whose light isn't shining. And the trip is, the more they search, the more they'll realize, damn, I fucked up. I fucked up. But it's not going to be until they walk away. It's not going to be until they throw you away that they're going to come into the understanding of how true you really was. And their fear is that they'll never find somebody else like you again. Their regret is that they'll never find somebody as pure, somebody that loves them unconditionally, somebody that loves them authentically like you. That scares them. They want it, but they know they'll never find it again. Because you were a diamond in a rough. You were a rare commodity. Man. Hopefully it helps them in their growth and development. Hopefully it helps them grow up. Hopefully it helps them sit down and reanalyze their life, their decisions. Hopefully it makes them sit there and process their ego and deal with their pain and their trauma. But regardless of what they do, as a chosen one, as a light worker, as a star seed, as a real child of God, you continue to do you. You continue to let your light shine. Don't dim your light because they couldn't understand you. Don't dim your light because they didn't value you. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.